Cat's watching.
Cool. Hi, Cat. So she can still hear me and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're the only one with extra hit points because of your armor quality. So if you have 6 hit points and then you have armor hit points.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heavy.
So in campaign mode, you either rest for an hour to regain 1 hit point, or you work on your armor for that whole hour and regain 3 hit points. But your armor hit points are always lost first. They don't do anything other than that. Armor just gives you 3 hit points. Okay, so put this. That's a rumor mill, and when I ask you to pull a rumor, you pull a rumor, and take it from there. There, like I said, there's rules, standard test. So in combat, the enemies are. Oh, you know I should do this on camera.
It's fine hearing some explanations before, but yeah.
You want to click
mainstream?
Yeah, just to see like how close I am to the camera, because I feel like I'm really close.
You're good. You might be a little bit close.
I need to move the camera back.
Yeah, thank you.
Move it up a little. Perfect.
You can.
You're good. There you go.
Good?
Yep.
Does it need to be shifted over that way a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit.
That looks pretty on
That's
center.
good. That's
All right.
good.
Excellent. Okay, we all have batteries. Beautiful.
Sounds like the ominous six.
Hey, Fred.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I hear a bunch of people now. Somebody attempted to put it down in a chair. Well, I don't have time to get it together before stream, so I'll do it after. I was just curious. I see.
Okay, look over your character sheet real
Yes.
quick, and if you have any
There are
questions,
parts
Fred.
of the chair because with that one losing its hydraulics entirely, it's not comfortable for me.
Okay. Look at your character sheet if you have any questions about what you can do, any of your traits. Traditionally, you would start with equipment, but you'll see why you won't once I get into the backstory. Okay, I can't control. Can somebody control?
Mm-hmm.
All right, put it back on the
Restream?
first. Yep, thank you. Yes, look at that. Our tech girl's already on the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's connected.
Alright, so you need 8d20, 7d8, 3d6s, and you'll only use the 3d6s.
That's correct.
And I actually remembered my dice today, so we're good.
Good.
Nice. Yeah.
All right,
Maybe.
We've done that.
Put it in a little bit.
microphone's on.
Microphone's on.
What happens if I do this?
Can't tell right now.
Oh, that's fine.
It's on.
No, we're good. Whenever, let me know when we're live.
Okay. Work.
Excellent.
Twitch is on. We're not live.
Okay. So, as soon as Fred has his 3d6, and then he asks me a question if he has any. There's also a quick rules cheat sheet right here. If you have any questions about the specificities of stuff. Ouch. So, and I'll go through the basic rules in like a 2-minute blurb once we're ready to go. So.
There we go.
We're live?
We're live.
Welcome back, everybody. Sunday. Greetings! We are Fellowship Gaming, here to entertain you with yet another tale of daring, disaster, and dimwits. So please grab your favorite drink and perhaps a snack and let us regale you with songs of our misdeeds. Tonight, or actually this afternoon, this evening, and tomorrow. No, this afternoon we'll be playing Tiny Dungeons 2nd Edition, which is a tiny D6 oriented system. It's a simplified fantasy D6 system created by Gallant Knight Games, which is relatively local to us. If you would like to see more content, please check us out on YouTube at fellowshipgaming.quest, where you can subscribe and hit that bell notification. If you would like to join us during our live streams, head on over to Twitch and give us a follow in order to be a part of our live chats.
You're almost at 200 subscribers.
Do we?
Yeah.
Nice. When we get to 250, maybe we'll do another special thing, and then we'll do another one at 5, and we do something small at 250.
Now we're gonna.
I'll do something small at 250. Maybe I'll do a wolf room or something. I don't know. You can name my goatee. Do like Valencia Van Dyke or so. I don't know. That's the name of the goatee, not the pejorative words. So anyways, yeah, we are playing Tiny Dungeon. It is very, very simplified. You realistically will only ever use 3d6. Actually, you will only ever use 3d6. Go over the basic rules. So I do have a cheat sheet for the players. Effectively, if I say give me a test, or I say give me a check, it fundamentally means the same thing, and it says 2d6. You're looking for a 5 and a 6 as a success, and unless I tell you, and this is the other homebrew rule I use, which is scaling successes and scaling non-successes, which if you roll 3d6 and you roll 2 1s and 1 6, I call that a failure because it's a critical failure. If we use those rules, we don't have to. If I say test at disadvantage, just a 1d6. If I say test at advantage, it's 3d6. The other homebrew rule that we're using over and above what Gallant Games usually uses is they say disadvantage overrides all. So if you have a feature, which I think one of you do, I believe it's Fred's character for traps, you test disadvantage on all traps.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I were to say test at disadvantage for a trap, you would just roll normal, because advantage and disadvantage wipe each other out.
So would that be 2d6 then?
Yes, it'd be a standard test. So it's standard, normal, regular, whatever the word you want to institute will be it just means 2d6. All weapons typically deal 1 damage. Most creatures have between 1 and 5, and then high-end like red dragons might have 20. But they get 1 action, you get 2 in every combat. If you have a light weapon, which is any non-heavy weapon, you can use it twice in combat because you get 2 actions. Heavy melee weapons can only use 1 action to attack, so you're prompted to do something else. Move in and out, evade, focus to definitely deal damage. I'll get to focus in a second. And unless you have a trait or a heavy melee weapon, they just do 2 damage. So that's the give and take. Like you can only attack once because it's unwieldy, but you could do 2 damage with your attack instead of 1. If you focus, so on the battle map, you'll see a focus and an evade. You take an action to focus. Your success ratio is 4, 5, and 6, not just 5 and 6. No, it's on the map with the figures. And then evade is if I hit you, you're taking action to evade. You move to evade, and if I hit you, you roll a test. It's 1d6. You roll 5 and a 6. You just don't take any damage. Basically, you've dodged or blocked or whatever. The only person that has it in their character is the fox, which we'll get to in a second. It's a goblin trait where anytime they're hit, they auto evade. So it's just a chance. Stacks with shield bearer, which is a trait that we can get if we do a campaign out of this. And you're just dodging and moving and doing all sorts of stuff. But that's always an action. Shield bearing is an evade action. It's just whenever you evade, you test different. All right. So, any questions about your character traits or information about your hit points that you're not sure about or your weapons? The only person who has a ranged weapon at the moment is Fred. Now, if you look on the map, you can see that ranged can be used anywhere except for near. No, except for close, sorry. And melee can be used anywhere except for far. I believe light can only be used in close, which is the other two. So I kind of gave everybody a little bit of a different economy so that you kind of get a feeling for everything. Typically, you don't require a mini or anything like that, but if we do, there's another system called Advanced Tiny Dungeon, which is more like D&D, that uses a 5-foot movement, it uses grid and stuff like that, and that's something we could evaluate. We could decide if we want a more traditional play, or if you just like the simplicity of this, and then we don't need to complicate it any more than that. But that, again, we talked about this last week, where it has a little bit more of a progression, like a experience milestone progression, rather than this, which is really just, oh, you have an X number of traits and your character is done. You can't have any more traits than 7. So yeah, all right. No questions? No inquiries about the rules or anything of that nature that you're not sure about?
Probably we'll get more into questions when we actually start playing.
Excellent. All right. Welcome to Stillwell Manor, a 1-Shocktober scenario written by Anthony Tiger. The evening greets you all with wonderful anticipation. The air is crisp, cool, but not too cold. A breeze nips at each of your noses, but really only the scent of autumn, the decaying leaves, warm asphalt, and the varying fragrance of countless costuming accoutrements assault your senses. The sound of laughter fills the empty air between you and the countless children you've interacted with so far this evening. For the record, you are all also children. You see your age on your character sheet. You are all 13 in X-era, modern-ish, whatever. For a variety of reasons, you've all made your way to the small but notable corner of your little city at the same time. Could have been the last street of your evening, and the pull of perhaps one last potentially large hall beckoned you ever forward, or mayhaps circumstances such as they are, it was ironically the very first house of the first street you happened upon after getting such a late start. No fault of your own, of course. At this point, I'd like everybody to introduce yourself. So you can use a fake name, but I put your real names on your character sheet. And then really just what are you dressed as? And give an idea of is this your first house? Is this your last house? How much candy do you got? I mean, have some fun with it. Are you friends? Do you know each other? Like, build a rapport.
This is probably the last street of my night. And I'm dressed as in a bedsheet.
I love it. The tiny little holes cut out. Correct. Maybe a little bit of marker, like a Spider-Man eye or something.
Correct. And everybody's been asking, who are you? And I just laugh and giggle and just continue on my way.
E.T. when he's in the ghost costume, basically. Yeah. I love it.
And so it's probably the last
So
street.
you're Fred Gill,
Yeah.
and you're
My
13.
Name, yes. I actually went as a ghost, but I think I was like 9 or 10 at the time because I was still living in Washington State.
Amazing.
And I remember going on and I saw this girl who was in the same class as me, and I kept on saying hi to her, and she kept on going, "Who are you?"
Because you had the sheet.
Because I had a sheet on. Over
It'd be worse if she could recognize you through the sheet.
Yes, it would. I just thought it was funny. Because every time I ran into her, I go, "Hello," and I said her name, and I don't remember what her name was.
I am me. I'm Brian.
Hi, Brian. Oh, sorry.
This is, I imagine
Jules,
this is my
can I get
first
soda?
house. Because as much as I love trick-or-treating, it involves a lot of walking, so there's a lot of mental preparation to go. And so I finally done. Also, the costume is complex. There's blood, it splatters everywhere. I've had my hair spray painted. A little spray paint got in my eyes, so it's white too. And between everything, I'm very happy with my costume. It's just very hard to see. It's so much walking. So much. But the candy's worth it. But I am dressed as a zombie.
So yeah, I'm Casey. My costume is I have basically an old 1-gallon Clorox jug cut off the handle, wrapped in aluminum foil with a slit cut for my eyes to see. And a piece of cardboard, roughly shaped to be a breastplate and tied on. And I'm carrying a plastic halberd with me.
I'm sure because it's modern. I'm sure it's all duct taped or something, but
Yeah.
to make it reinforced.
No, it was just cardboard with.
I'm aware, but that was like 1975. I'm saying more modern. You would
More
just
modern, I'd actually have my armor on.
Well, that's
It's
true, but
armor.
you wouldn't. Not at 13, you wouldn't. You'd
Not
have
at
duct
13.
tape. You'd have a really nice particle board or cardboard corrugated with like duct tape for reinforcement. I mean, you could be Loon. I don't care. It's your character, but I'm just saying more modern construction would be like duct tape or something. But yeah, but still, yeah, you are effectively a knight.
Effectively, yes.
And what's your halberd made out of?
It was just plastic.
Oh, like the ones that you get at
Yeah.
like. Oh, okay,
Like
cool.
you can get at Spirit.
Yeah.
It was just, had a long shaft.
Yeah.
a
I
battle
remember
axe
the
and
plastic tridents, like the pitchforks and stuff.
very much
yeah.
like that. It just, like I said, it had an axe head with the back spike and a spearhead.
Love it.
That's
And I didn't
probably
know it
where-
was a halberd at the time.
No, you're just like it's a giant axe. You
It's a
don't know.
big axe.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
probably where the duct tape comes in to keep the head on, because
Mhm.
of course you swing it around, it breaks, you put it back together.
mhm.
Wonderful.
I am Jules, and I am dressed up as a fox.
You
so
are.
I have like fox ears with the little headband, and then I have an orange and white foxtail that I made out of yarn, and then I also have little paws that I wear.
Yep.
And my hair, I have blue eyes, and then I have orange hair, but much like my outfit. I'm wearing an orange jacket and orange pants, and I'm wearing little boots with that look like paws and all that.
I was thinking like fox foot slippers. I mean, it all works. It's all cute anyway. So great. Well, glad that each of you can make it, and that you're standing before this house. So before each of you stands an all-encompassing and foreboding building, the Stillwell Stone Manor. You've all heard a number of tales concerning the building from time to time, and maybe one or two of you have actually considered ringing the doorbell and running away. But none of you have ever actually done it. But that is exactly why you've all met here at this hour. A dare in so many words. Alone, you're cowards. But together, who knows? The building looks much smaller than your memories and the stories would have you seem to recall. But the essence of the house diminishes it none at all. Large and dark windows encase the whole of the front of the building, and massively overgrown ivy completes the harried look. But it is the dark iron wrought fence and the thick, if not overly tall, stone walls which haunt your visions. and give the structure its name. To a child, such as yourself, to a child, meaning all of you, you steel your resolve and approach the front gate, one of you taking a moment to test the fortifications. To a unanimous surprise, the iron swings open freely and with nary a sound. Birds caw in the background, but surely that is either coincidence or a fancy of pure imagination. With a fleeting glance back towards the road that leads away, and to one another, you all approach the entrance. A stone-paved walking path leads you in.
Well, this is good enough for the dare, right?
Yeah.
We could just leave.
No, we have to
No.
do the dare.
No, you gotta press the
We
doorbell.
don't
At least
get
one of us has
anything.
to.
I'll
Yeah, we
do
have to
it.
take a picture of us doing it with our
Yeah, we
cameras.
have to
I
do
love
we have
that
to-
Falcon's costume. That is awesome.
Thank you.
I'm like,
Feeling a
I-
bit self-conscious because my breastplate is literally tied to me with a rope. It was.
I can't see anything. Oh, just a second.
You shift it.
The classic ghost. I mean,
He's got two slits here. He takes his glasses out of his pocket, puts them on, like, oh!
Like the little glasses.
you know, the classic ghost.
Classic bed sheet.
Yeah, my mom
Bed
was
sheet.
mad at me.
You can imagine.
I have this strong urge to give you a rock.
And you're cause chaos.
How do you want to approach the
I'm
manor?
just walking up
Tiptoe.
and pressing the button.
Okay. So you all basically approach the house. Casey walks up and gets
I
onto
tried
the
to
front
get
porch.
Behind a
my
bush.
cell phone.
There's some foliage outside of the manor, but there's not a lot of foliage in the courtyard itself. But there's maybe like a little pillar offset of the porch that you can kind of hide behind, just kind of like
tries to hide behind like.
you're fast. You got like 1 foot towards the door wall.
There's no hiding from me.
As you guys approach,
Shambling behind.
A soft chime of a clock sounds in the back of your mind. Dong. Strange. You don't seem to recall it being so close to any hour when you had initially arrived. And surely that much time hadn't passed in the interim while waiting for any of the others to arrive. But also, why was the sounding of the clock so loud, so very near, like almost within your heads? When surely any such device would be inside the house, and with all the windows seemingly closed, at last you could recall, you couldn't remember any being opened anyways. And finally, why are you all just so tired? It wasn't even that... You all awaken, albeit well-kept, you all awaken in a small, albeit well-kept and relatively clean room. So, on the very first map, called the Cellars, there's a little room. I don't know the orientation of the map because I can't see it from here. Yes, you start at the very, very bottom. There's a small series of beds in the room, as well as a few you can write on the map if necessary. A few toiletries and similar common types of implements you'd expect in a room such as this.
There it is.
While it is devoid of the more typical
Tiny
decor,
D6.
nice, you associate with a child, the feeling of the room imparts just that. You are unmistakably in a child's room. And more to the point, you're in this room with everyone else. You've no idea how or why or the amount of time that has elapsed, but perhaps you feel you should find out. There's a doorway that leads out of the room and into a corridor. It is unlocked, but the hallway appears only wide enough for single file movement.
I'm being in the back.
I think I'm gonna go up front.
You're the one with the chest plate.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking down. This feels a lot heavier suddenly.
Yeah. So,
And my helmet
You all
is-
wake. and there is unmistakably a fox, a knight, and a zombie in the room. And in the corner, where Fred is, you see a small, faint blue light, like a translucent figure. Not enough light to convey, to light an area other than where he is currently sitting, but he looks ghostly.
Oh look, he died.
Well, someone's already dead.
Wow.
You find you can't put your hand through a wall, but if you don't focus on the physical nature, it doesn't cost an action or anything, but you have to actually make the effort to touch something. Otherwise, you just go right through it. So
This was so trippy. I know I shouldn't have eaten that candy bar.
That's why you don't take candy.
And I don't know why, but Casey smells so smart. That's weird. I never knew what smart tasted like before.
you could just smell the brains through the helmet.
It wasn't me. I can smell it much more.
Yeah. So now, if you would like, you can introduce your costumes and then the trait that will embody your costume.
So the hair.
And then once you are done introducing your trait that makes your character unique, because otherwise you're just humans, I will have you all test perception or something of that nature for the room itself. So, Fred, what is your ghostly trait?
I am. Sometimes I'm there and sometimes I'm not. Once per session, you can transform your body into incorporeal and ghostly translucent state to either bypass the wall or hazard trap or some other restrictive mechanism.
Nice. Yeah, so once per session, you'd say, oh, that door's locked. We don't know how to get through it. Boop. You just walk through it.
And then you can unlock it.
I have the zombie trait. So I start with I'm a little bit weaker than everyone else, but when I reach 0 HP, I can immediately test, and on a success, I come back at 1.
So it says standard test, so it's 2d6, and on any 5s and 6s, you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So my trait is Armor Master.
Mm-hmm.
When wearing any form of armor, you have an extra 3 hit points that must be lost before you take physical damage.
So unlike Brian, Casey is a tank.
These hit points cannot be healed and must be restored by repairing your armor.
Yep.
It says 8 hours to restore all 3.
Oh, it's yeah. Oh, yeah. So you get 1 and 1. So when you take an hour rest, you get 1 health, 1 armor. That's what that means. You have to repair it. But if you take, it should be 6, not 8. If you repair your armor through a full rest, you heal all your hit points and your armor. Sorry,
Okay.
that's what I meant.
Has anybody seen my bag of candy?
No.
Oh,
So
it's on the floor.
other than what you are wearing, you have nothing. So your bag of candy, any accoutrement you had, your a flashlight or whatever protective gear like high visibility vest or whatever, none of that.
It's a lot of effort.
In fact, you don't even have your sheet. You are you in a ghostly form. You don't have a sheet.
Gonna be mad. Your mom's not gonna be happy with
My
me.
mom's gonna be really mad. I guess.
Brian looks exactly the same. No.
My mom's gonna be really mad. That's the sheep.
I just thought if you were wearing something under the sheet. Would've been
They are very happy you were wearing something under the sheet. And what is your trait, Jules?
I have Vulpine Invasion. I can test 1d6.
Invasion or
whenever I-
evasion?
Evasion.
Okay.
Successfully hit Invasion.
She's an
Invasive species. every time she gets hit, she makes a new fox. We can't get rid of them.
They're everywhere!
So I wrote you as if you were a fox girl, but you can just be a fox, which would be really fun for Brian's other trait.
So if your test is successful, you evade the attack and do not take damage. Declaring evade as an action has no additional benefit.
Yeah, so you don't have to evade as an action. If you had shield bearer, you evaded, they do scale. So then you would roll 2d6 instead of 1d6 and evade. But other than that, cool. Everybody, give me a standard test. If you have advantage on perception tests of some kind, then you utilize that.
5 and 6.
2 and 2.
Okay. So just say if you get a success, just raise your hand.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for those of you who got a success, you find nothing of note or value, although there are some small clues that might be found about the location. So if only one of you, can pull from the rumor mill You find a little book or a little note card or something, a little toy, and it.
Let's see. The manor is the oldest building in the city, or if not the oldest, surely one of them.
I'll hold on to it. So there's a rumor checklist. There's 10 rumors, and if you, I don't know if that one has a particular parentheses on it. If it does, that letter is of notable discernment from the rest.
So that one, the important letter is S.
Yes. So that will come potentially in play. All right. You have a corridor. You have a room here, and you have a corridor in front of you. You will notice that, as I said, the corridor is darkened, and there's no light source that you notice. Effectively, if you're in the corridor and you're testing for perception thing, you're at disadvantage because you don't have a light source.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so I know Jules. Are you a fox or a fox person?
I'm a fox.
Okay. My other
Where we
trait,
are right now, I am a full fox.
my other trait is beast speaker. So I
You
can
understand
convey-
me?
So you can both speak and yip. If you do yip, only Brian can understand you. So it's a good way for you to. And when you yip back, she can understand you, but nobody else can.
That's cool. We have a secret language.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really see in the dark.
I'm a fox.
There is a light in the room. It's small, and it will only cast a shadow into like the first half of the corridor. The second half of the corridor, you get to a basically
Yeah,
closed off.
The question is, can we remove the light source?
No, it's like a ambient light bulb in a lamp, and while the lamp is not plugged in, you do notice, and that's a good question. If you pull the lamp outside of the bedroom, the light bulb goes off. Pull the lamp back inside the bedroom, light bulb goes back on.
Let's put it closest to the
As close to the door as we
Okay.
can.
and then.
Yeah, you walk to the end of the hallway and you realize that there is a series of walls in front of you. Doesn't seem to be any doors or anything of that nature.
Simplify line, people.
I'm not going to bother covering up the map because it would be tedious for me to walk back and forth as you guys move. So,
I'm gonna look and see if I can find any.
Okay. Yeah, if everybody would like to test, you can be tested disadvantage unless you have some way of bypassing disadvantage from light.
Yeah, 6.
Nice.
4.
2.
Great. So I remember, yeah.
Oh,
Wonderful. Brian, you happen to notice that there's like a little panel. It's small. I mean, the fox clearly could fit. You guys would be able to fit in case you might have to kind of like shift the, proper way.
You'd have to go sideways, walk sideways.
So everybody who did not succeed, mark down 1 stress. It's not a hit point or anything like that. This is a unique thing to this scenario. Basically, you were in darkness, you were looking for a doorway or something, you couldn't find something, and you kind of self-panicked for a second.
We're stressed.
You just mark it somewhere. It just keep a notation of it. The only time it matters is if your stress is equal to your base hit points. And then you make a test to run away or not. That's it. Just a nice little, oh shit. Effectively, if you are stressed, you until you can make a correct test, you only have 1 action in combat. All right. So yeah, Brian finds a little panel. I believe there's an S on the board. It will open up into what is considered a kitchen. Inside this kitchen, you do see a set of stairs that seem to be leading up. And then if everybody would like to test, unless you don't want to search around the kitchen. So I'm going to go into this with the assumption there is no. There is no light. That is a good question. So if anybody wants to explore first and say, hey, I'm looking at X, Y, and Z before you test, you can do that as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for some kind of light.
Okay. The only light source you find, you open up the refrigerator, and for whatever reason, there's like a small bulb, and it does light up the kitchen enough to dissuade the disadvantage.
I'm gonna find something sharp just for defense.
Sure. Test to notice.
6.
All right. Yeah. So you got a success, but you were unable to find anything sharp. However, on the back of like kind of the bottom of the fridge, you find a magnet.
I have on the pants.
So you can either record it as an item that you have found.
I would like to see if I can find some Oreos.
There is some food, but it looks like it's well past its due date.
Well, I pick it up and
You find a single Oreo. You spend time focusing on it, but it's green and not black. And this is not a special Halloween Oreo.
I don't think you can get sick with your form. So.
I mean, you can still get hurt and stuff, so maybe.
So I pick it up and I go, it smells like Oreos.
Yeah. Do you want to test?
Sure.
This would be a trap
So that'd be an advantage?
for you, yeah.
Two, and 3.
Oh, yeah, it seems safe.
Seems like.
I just go like this and I just put it into me
Sure.
and just leave it there and just let go of it.
It drops to the floor.
Like,
Do you pick it up and actually eat it?
no.
Okay.
I was looking for like a package of Oreos.
I think the manner probably predates Oreos.
It's
Or
like,
cookies.
finally, I could get past the chewing part, just put it right in.
Not quite. You're not a ooze. You don't count as like a carrying container.
You're not a slime.
Yeah.
Not a mimic.
Yeah. So the imagery of the kitchen kind of gives you like early like 20s, 30s, 40s vibes. Like, and you kind of get a weird. I don't want to use the term medical feeling from it, or like a sterilized feeling from it, but that would not be unheard of. Like if you felt like it was sterile but not clean, does that make sense? Like yeah. Okay. So yeah, you see a doorway. You have a stairwell, and then there's an open area before you.
I'm gonna pick up the rotten cookie again and just carry it with me so I
Okay.
have something to throw at somebody.
That's a good plan. You throw it into their
I
mouth.
mean, the part of me that just wants to get out of here wants to go upstairs.
Yeah. So one thing that you're noticing is that there is a overwhelming lack of sound. Like the refrigerator worked.
Even for me.
Yeah, oh yeah. The refrigerator works, but it's not humming. And you look at not that there's like lights like this, but you know that lights like this have a hum to them. You're not noticing that. Even your footsteps don't seem to have a very noticeable, lasting effect. Like you still clomp, clomp, clomp because you're kids in armor, but the armor sound almost seems to
Muted.
dissipate. Like clank, and it's not clank, clank, clank. It's just clank, conk. It's not conk, 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 you know?
There's no echo.
Right. I mean, there wouldn't be an echo, but yeah, that's the effect. Is it feels like it's just sound is absorbed much faster than you would like, or it would seem normal.
Again, I still just want to go upstairs
Okay.
because I want out of this place.
I'll follow the brain.
Same.
All right. So you go to the stairs and you start to head up the stairs. I'd like you to make me a test, and for you, this will be at disadvantage. Nice. So you step on a stair, and ordinarily, like the stair would creak and give way, but you're able. As soon as you pick your foot up to go on the next step, you see the step below kind of disintegrate, and you reach for the door, and it's locked.
I suppose that shouldn't surprise me.
It's an old house.
got another.
Jules, gonna need toilet paper. Give her toilet paper.
What would you like to do?
Hmm?
What would you like to do?
I guess go back down because
It's not that. It's like
there's a part of me that's like,
it's like
do I
five.
really want to take my axe, which apparently is now a real axe, to this door?
Sure.
No, I'm not a vandal. I'll go back down. Maybe we can find a
I mean, you were tooken. So remember that.
It's true, but there's still this part of me that's like, I don't go destroying things unless I absolutely have to.
Perfectly valid.
It's like, yeah, I can break this door down. Let's see if there's another way through first. That'll be a last resort.
I can't find my pulse.
That's because you didn't.
Well,
test.
like him, you're dead.
That's unusual.
Somehow I feel like I should be offended the way he said that. I don't know why.
Well, just let me know if you get hungry for brains.
Well, that's been here the entire time. Luckily, you don't have.
The cookie almost smells good to you.
The cookie looks good to me.
Yeah. There's a faint semblance in your olfactory sense. Anyways, yeah. What would you like to do? You guys are still in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
There seems to be a open dining room in front of you. With the refrigerator open, it illuminates enough for these two rooms.
That's a really bright light from the refrigerator.
That
Almost
is a really bright light.
Preternaturally bright.
I didn't know you knew a word that
I didn't either.
It's Fred uses preternaturally, and you're like, you look a little bit tasty.
Them's tasty sounding words. Let's see. Well, I don't know. Maybe someone's at the dining room. Or there's cards.
Let's look through the dining room.
Yeah, go
See
to
if you can find a phone.
Okay, you enter the room, and nothing really of note or value seems to present itself, except for a clear indication of the passing of time. So there's some dust and things of that nature. If everybody would like to test perception for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
Have you made one yet?
No. I feel like that's so far.
Fred has no good dice. All right, Jules. You find a newspaper
Fred.
that's kind of folded up and
Nice.
covered in dust on the table in the dining room. Brian, I'd like you to roll me a d6 and have it. So 1 and 2 is 1, 3 and 4 is 2.
3.
So is that the half?
Yeah.
5 and 6. All right. So you find a newspaper, and as you're reading it, the words start to swirl and evade like literal translation. It's clearly lettering of some kind, like, but windings would be it's just you don't understand it. With that being said, though, you can hold on to the paper. Brian, you find 3 batteries.
My type of
Batteries work. If something needs a battery, you just use a battery. So like if you use firearms in this, you just have ammo or not ammo.
Okay.
And at the end of combat, you roll a success, and if you succeed, you still have ammo. And if you fail, you don't have ammo. You have to find more. It's kind of like Gamma World, I think, uses the same methodology. Very, very simple. And then you find ammo, and you're like, I have ammo. It's like it's just bullets. They all work with all guns. It's like all nails work with all hammers, and all batteries work with all electronics. That take batteries. Like a refrigerator would not take a battery.
Look for a phone.
A lamp would not take a battery, but a flashlight would, a radio would, whatever. Okay. Yeah, you see two doorways, one leading to the north and one leading to the west.
North.
Okay. So the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you open the door from the dining room and you happen upon a hallway. So a series of desks line the hallway. They're small and typical for such. A variety of papers and writing implements can be found. Pencils are all broken. Pens are all lacking ink. Paper they're scribbled on, but there's nothing really discernible. However, everybody would like to test perception.
Is this one lit?
It's not light-based.
Okay.
There is no light in here. That is correct. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
So the three of you that succeeded, from the south, from the south door at the end of the hallway, you hear like noises.
Check it out. Check it out.
Can't see. I want to try and find something to
I can
light
feel
this.
my.
So
I can feel my way around.
This place reeks of homework. Why don't we go in there?
It really
I
does.
want to go in there.
Does anybody have the ability to overcome disadvantage for scent-based things? I don't think anybody does. What did I give you in your traits?
Show perceptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gain advantage when testing to gain information about your surroundings and find things that may be hidden. You gain this even while asleep.
Oh, so you were making all these tests at advantage, not disadvantage.
Oh my god.
So yes, that's all senses. So you would be able. You're the only one who can make this test at normal.
Okay.
So this is scent based. Nope. You smell the faint, like copper almost, iron almost in the air, but nothing really attracts your attention other than that. So you do have the two doorways, both to the south, but one leads back to the dining room and the other one leads to a room that you don't know. What would you like to do?
Go to the room we don't know.
Perfect. You open it up.
I can't. My hand goes right.
I also can't open it up.
Your hands work. You just have to focus on
I
it.
got pause.
You can also once per set just walk through the door. You don't. I mean, you know that you can do that. You feel you can do that because it's meta. Like you know what you're capable of. You literally could have. It doesn't matter now, but you literally could have just walked through the door up the top of the stairs and be like, "Oh, you guys are stuck. I can't get back through now." Because you can only do it once per. That's why I made it once per session and not forever. I was like, "Oh yeah, you bypassed. You're also alone now." No, I literally thought Casey was going to convince you to do it on the outset. I was like, "All right." You guys get upstairs. Finally, Fred's up on the third floor. Like, why am I dead? Like for real? No.
Fred
Wonderful.
is with ADHD. All you have to do is focus. No.
Oh no.
Yes.
Wait, I'm confused. Okay, all right, that works.
Oh,
So
were we able to find any light source in this hallway?
No. Nope. Somebody tested for something and failed. Yeah. Again, it's like you would think most likely that there would the light source of this hallway would be like candles, more traditional, non-electronic based stuff. Like this would kind of be where kids who would have to write 100 lines would go and be in like detention, so to speak. Like that's the feeling you get from this study room with the desks and all that. But there's melted wax but there's no open candles or matches or anything of that nature. All right. As you enter what can only be considered a living room, I would like you all to roll initiative. As a small wolf-like creature darts out from underneath the
Initiative is 2d6.
and then you add your I think no, it's not. You're just rolling initiative. So you add the numbers together, and then what? Do you add anything else to it? It just says you just take the result, right?
Yeah, it's just the result.
Yeah.
You want the low number or a high number?
You start. You want high. Start high. Go
If you
low.
wanna go first, you want high.
I got a 10.
Alright, so grab
Okay.
10.
I'm at 8.
I got a 12.
All right. What'd you get?
10.
10. Nice. Okay. Wolf got 7, so he goes last. All right. In combat, monsters don't move. They are considered to be always moving around and interacting and whatever. It doesn't affect where you are in the as far as like near, far, close. But it would be dumb if they had, because they don't have actually, they only have one action. It would be dumb if they had to move and couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So it will change if we do advanced tiny dungeon because they have movement speeds, and then that doesn't take an action. You just move. So, or it does take an action, and everybody gets to move action. I don't remember, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, 12 goes first. You see if you would put. Thought I had a wolf thing. Let's just do the.
You do, but it seems to be being used as a player character.
It was
my
supposed to
box.
be the wolf boy, but it's the Vulpine now. Just do the fire elemental. Put it on the enemies. Yep. Okay. You all start at far, and you get 2 actions every round. I have a couple extra if you want to borrow one.
I hope that's right here.
So, Casey, what would you like to do? I think you rolled the 12, right?
Yeah. Light source.
Nope, no lights. Well, yes, that I apologize. There is a small light coming from a small static television. It's perpetually on you.
Just holding the television.
Like, think poltergeist.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will take 1 action to move near,
Okay.
and I will take an action to swing with my halberd.
Beautiful.
And that's just 2, right?
It's your mastery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 3.
Okay.
Nice. You swing the axe down, and you catch the flank of the small wolf boy, and he goes, "Rrr!" And you definitely you drew some blood, and you see clear rivulets of blood coming out of a wound from his flank. So you deal 2 damage.
Okay.
All right, who's next? I believe the 10s,
Yeah.
right?
I will shoot a ectoplasmic thing at it.
Okay. So you take a second, and you're like, I feel like I could just, "Rah!" and you slimer him.
Yep. That's a 2 and a 4.
I believe it's also your mastery.
So 1 more?
Yeah. So you only get 1 mastery weapon, and you roll at advantage with that. All the time.
That's a 6.
All right. So you shoot this like ectoplasmic bolt out, and you hit him in the face a little bit, and you see like a little bruise starting to, a little Eddie Munster going, "Oh!" And you hit him for 1. You have another action.
Right, you have to charge up your attack. That's how you nearly fail.
Oh, okay. I will charge up my second attack and then do it again.
All right. Well, you can focus, and then that applies to your next attack.
Okay, I'll focus.
So when you focus, you move yourself over to focus, and now your success ratio is 4, 5, and 6. All right. Next is the other 10, I believe.
I don't think I can because the only thing I have is Vulpine claws, and it's a light range. I have to get
Yep.
hit. So would that take one? Would that only
Yep.
take
1 action to move into close, and you're trying to nip them in the butt.
Vulpine claws.
So that's mastery.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
And you did not do well. So you go to nip them, and you think when Casey hit him hard, it kind of moved the tail out of your mouth range, and you kind of bite air. And then I believe I got a 7. You got a 8. Yeah, so you go before he does.
Let's see.
You are also close. I think you have a bite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a brains.
Just like. Since he looks like a wolf, right?
Yeah, he looks like a half boy, half wolf boy.
Right? I'll be like, hey, are you in costume too?
Ooh. Yeah. Roll a test at advantage for B Speaker.
Yeah. Juicy.
Nice. So you're like, and you that perfect howl, and he goes, and he does convey to you, oh wait, I'm not, but I've been here a long time and I'm alone. Again, it's supposed to be basic conversational, like, me sad and alone and hungry.
Yeah.
Would I be able to
I
understand
would
that?
really, I wish I had an Oreo.
Would I be able to understand?
You don't have B Speaker, so you're not an actual fox.
Oh,
You can talk to other foxes, but he's not a fox.
okay.
You have another action?
Let's see. All we found is that Oreo. Can I have your Oreo?
My Oreo.
Okay.
No.
Use your second action to toss the Oreo over.
Yeah.
All right, combat's over. He grabs the Oreo, curls up on the couch, does a little dog thing.
Oh my gosh.
And then he makes the sound like, good thing you guys didn't eat this. You'd gotten poisoned. Yeah. So in Tiny Dungeon, combats can be stopped without killing everything. There's also unique things like you'll see later on, or not, or maybe you'll just kill everything and who cares. But yeah, you can convey very basic information with the wolf boy. He does introduce himself as Oof. He says that he's been here, to him, like 3 days. But you can pull a rumor for speaking with him. And then if everybody would like to make a test while sitting on the couch with the wolf boy, Julia, because you have the, well, not that you need it, but because you have the magnet, you get make the test at advantage.
I got a 5 as well.
Nice. So while Brian is talking with the wolf boy, and because he is a canine, you're getting like every 6 word. You know, there's a dichotomy of language there. So he's like rah rah blah blue, rah 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 hungry, rah. You know, you're getting every 6 words, enough that you could pick up. You can carry on a conversation with him. But while doing so, you reach behind because you're a fox. You like touching
Grab
things,
my back.
and you pull out. Oh no, you don't have hands because you chose to be a fox. But anybody else get a success? All right, I just presume you tell somebody, you're like, hey, there's a screwdriver in the couch. I guess foxes could take it out with their mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, those sons of bitches can do everything.
I'm a fox. I'm very smart.
Yeah. So yes, you pull a screwdriver out of the couch.
I don't need a
So
screwdriver.
what was the rumor you got, Brian?
Someone petitioned to the city that the courtyard of the manor held murder victims. And
Yeah.
the why.
So in conversation, excuse me, the wolf boy brings up like, yeah, my mom and dad were sent to investigate, and they brought me because whatever reason, and I woke up in a room and I was a wolf. And I slowly made my way here, and now I'm stuck. But that's okay. My mom and dad are dead. So
Do you want to come with us?
no, I'm all right. I like it here. Really good TV.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you realize now you're talking about the TV, and you each see like a different static. Like it's the same TV, same light source, but the view is a little different for everybody. So he's probably seeing something different. Also, he's a wolf, so he only sees in like black and white. So maybe he's seeing like images. I don't know. Out of the purview of this scenario, even though I wrote it. And then there is he goes, there's a weird, not really weird, there's a bathroom to the south.
Is there anything in the bathroom?
Probably. I mean, I don't use it.
Pleasant.
I'm not a flush. I never learned that. It's beyond my wolf capabilities.
Only 2 of them can actually use it.
I mean, Fred looks like he wants to wash up, so we better investigate.
Yeah. Oh no, he goes, he doesn't use it because it's his only source of drinking water.
Oh.
How that? Yeah, that's cute. I like that. Yeah, so you guys.
I can't say anything because I knew a lot of dogs that just drank out of the toilet.
That's fair.
Rain did it for a little bit.
Yeah, Rain did. Stood on the.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Like, all the time.
We found out if you have diabetes, you leave a lot of salt in the bowl, and cats go ape shit for that. I was like, oh, well, that's fair. Licking my pea salt, weird cat. Anyways, yeah, you open up the water closet. As everywhere else, it seems like there's nothing really working. Oh, you never moved into the room?
Not yet.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, so if everybody would like to make a test for perception. Julia, you are advantage. The light from the TV, it doesn't ruin it, so. Okay. You got a success? Great. Everybody who got a success, you find a flashlight with no batteries.
Oh.
Basically, you flush the toilet, and he goes, oh no! And then it's stuck in the thing as a little flashlight you fish out. So it was only one flush. All the water's now gone. But nothing else in the bathroom really catches your attention at all.
So you wrote down flashlight? There's only one flashlight, right?
Only one flashlight, yeah.
Okay.
We got that.
You got that.
Yeah. We got that.
I do that.
Just
Making a point.
Just remember you gotta hold the flashlight in your mouth and it was in the toilet.
No. You're saying these 2 can hold it?
I can't hold it. It keeps falling through my hand.
No,
I
you
ain't
hold
holding
it, Fred.
He's like, look.
I ain't holding it. Oh, no. My mouth's gonna get germs.
As you bit someone.
She
I
attempted
attempted.
and failed.
She bit the air.
The air was contaminated.
All right. Reasonable suspicion. You think the screwdriver could be used as a makeshift.
Lockpick.
Anyone
Lockpick.
need a screwdriver?
I don't know. Probably. Something. Keep everything.
Keep everything.
Yep.
But with a flashlight and the battery, we have a light source.
Yeah.
You probably might need a screwdriver to open the flashlight. But some flashlights do.
The vast majority
I
don't.
don't. Still, it could be one. I don't
We're
know.
like, why does this one use watch batteries? That's so weird.
We are terrible people.
It's a solar battery.
It's a solar bat.
What?
At least it's not a crank. I'd be like,
I have like one for like emergency radio.
Yeah, but you would
Yeah.
be the perfect one for that because you can't ever get tired.
I get tired very easily. I'll let you know.
You're a zombie. You can't get tired.
I am a zombie.
Not a real zombie,
I could just imagine like
but that is one of the traits that you can take if you are a zombie in Tiny Dungeon.
me getting tired and then like
It's
not getting
tireless.
tired.
Basically, you don't require sleep, and you only have to do half of it to recoup all of your hit points.
Mhm.
So
I can imagine one of them just holding me if I get tired.
sure,
Mhm.
Casey's
I'll
a
let
big
you
strong boy.
rest on Fred's head.
Because she'd fall through it.
Yeah.
I forget that she's there and I go, thump.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess we have one option left, and that's go try and get through the door upstairs.
Now we have stuff. And a flashlight.
And a flashlight.
And a screwdriver. And a magnet.
Oh, yeah.
But you
And
no
a
longer have an
newspaper.
Oreo.
And a newspaper.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And the
Good
I
stuff.
have the newspaper.
To be fair, it's just paper. It doesn't really come back to play. I forgot all about it when I wrote it.
No.
So in theory, if you had a trait like demon speech or mythos or whatever, like allowed you to read black speech or something weird like that, you could get a rumor out of it. But I was like, it's just newspaper. You might need it later to make a torch.
It's a fire.
Yeah, to give you ideas, just to like scenarios stuff. Like, hey, here's items. Some things are red herrings.
Wears that like a freaking poncho. Oh my
You,
God.
you fold it into a hat.
We
You got a
could
little-
make an airplane and put Fred on it. Since he hasn't worn it. Just sail him across the room.
No, I'm not a blue ward.
You are when you have focus. That's enough for us to put you on the phone.
No.
So, who would like to test to pick the lock?
I won't.
Okay.
So I have Trap Master.
Yep.
What does it say?
Gain advantage when testing to create, locate, and disarm traps. You get advantage on save tests against traps.
Okay, well, this isn't a trap. This is just a lock picking.
I know, but
But if it is trapped, you are correct. As you're like, hey, the door exploded. Shit.
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Good job.
Somebody
Yeah.
else can try it now.
So we are clear. If you all fail a test, you take 1 stress and then you can redo them. But you each have to attempt. If you attempt it without everybody else, even if you succeed, you will take a stress. Basically, you're just like freaking out. So, but you're fine now as long as everybody else goes.
Yeah. So I'll give it a go.
Your big hands. You put it in your mouth. Doesn't work.
That's what I would do too.
Do you want to test?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you need a boost or anything?
Yes.
I just fix the box up.
Yes, do that for me, please. Got a 6.
Nice. So remember, I need to. Yeah. All right. Great. After like 30 seconds of the fox kind of just jiggling around and puts a claw in and just click, you hear a nice little. It's not so much that the lock comes undone. It's just whatever jarring effect kind of dislodged a board that was barely nailed in on the other side, and then the door just opens up into another stairwell that leads into the ground floor. You start in the room that has the stairs and a table.
What is
I remember that when I was really big, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Every trial of that.
It's always more years.
All right. Unlike the cellar, there is definitely light here and working appliances. However, you all get the sense that they feel a little off. So unlike the cellar, every room here has like a candelabra or a light of some kind that doesn't seem natural, but it absolutely helps in your perceptive abilities. Smaller but far more remarkable than the previous dining room, the one that you were in downstairs. There seems to be a setting for a family of 4 that has remained undisturbed at the table. If everybody would like to test for sound, you are advantage for all tests.
That's why I looked at you.
Learn to route your traits.
No.
All right, you're too busy smelling things. Okay. Awesome. All right. So to that direction, you hear noise coming from that room. There are 2 doorways in this room. One leading the way that you heard the noise come from, and I really don't know what the orientation is. So towards me would be the other doorway.
Yeah. I think he said this is the one we hear sound out of.
Yes.
You do, yep.
And there's food on the table, you said.
No, there is
Oh, it's set.
a setting for a family of 4 that has remained yet undisturbed.
Okay.
So there's dust and stuff everywhere except for on the china, the stem glassware, the silver whatever. No knives. There's like spoon and a fork and maybe a butter knife, but it's a small little like butter knife. And it looks like it is clean, dust free, the whole 9.
Imagine just
You
like
know,
shaking my
that's
body and a
weird.
bunch of dust comes
Do you go to interact with the plating?
I can't help but kind of shove something around.
And no matter how much force you put on the plate or silverware, it does not move from its position. Like it's super glued to the table.
Huh.
Like there's something supernatural
like-
binding it to that location, and so much that dust and stuff doesn't connect.
That's, that's kind of weird. That's really weird. I see a window, I think.
Yeah, there is a window towards you, right?
Away
and
from me.
then there's like a chimney cook area towards the back. That is not a window.
Yeah, the chimney is towards me, the window is away from me.
Nope. That's reversed, I think. Yeah.
So this looks like the window. That looks like the chimney fireplace.
Oh, you are correct. I had that backwards in my head. It's not a window. It is a window, but it's not for the purview of this map. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you don't see anything outside then. I mean, you can look outside. It's just you see the behind the house, and there's like
Just a
overgrowth,
white
and
wall.
it's dark, and it just looks stormy.
I mean, I want to try and open the window.
Yeah, again, there. No matter what you do, you can't seem to get it open. You hit it with your axe, bounces off. Like, there's definitely something keeping you in the house. To give you a
Does
perception.
anyone remember the person that gave you the dare?
No.
I mean, we should
Neither
have
can
left
I.
when we did doorbell, but
No,
we
it
fell
was
asleep.
yeah, to the best of your recollection, you know that there was a card involved and somebody invited you to do X, Y, and Z, but no name or visage comes to mind. The card is no longer on your person, and even what it looked like or the font is no longer reminiscent. So you still get the semblance of self, and you still definitely know. But the longer you're the knight, you feel more chivalric, like you feel less Casey and more
I feel more
knight. You feel less Jules and you feel more Fox.
like I'm
you're-
sly and
You feel less real, like you'll feel more incorporeal and interactive, like poltergeisty. And yeah, every second that goes by, your friends just seem to smell a little bit more delicious, especially when they say big words. You're like, huh.
Well, the only one you can eat is Casey.
It's just that her
Yeah,
brain is smaller.
Yeah.
and
You don't know if you could be hurt yet.
Well, I hear something from in that door.
Mhm.
go there.
So I guess, yeah, start there.
Okay.
Should we knock?
Yeah, you open it up and you see an actual kitchen, stove, range, the whole 9, plus a dishwashing area. However, 2 housemaid zombies kind of come out of the side of the pantry. Like there's one towards the a window towards the north,
Mhm.
and then there's like a little egress towards the south. They kind of engage you guys. Think of like the asylum nurses, but these are like housemaids with the French outfit and the little whatever. So if you would put 2 of the 2 ghosts or whatever girls in the enemies. Yep. Yeah, and you see that they are equipped with like a spatula, and one has like a cast iron pan and all that. They look very reminiscent of Brian.
Can you talk to them?
No, B-Speak doesn't work on zombies.
No.
Zombies. So before we do combat, if everybody would like to make a mental test at disadvantage. So it's just rolling a 1d6 unless you have something beautiful. Hey, that works. You're like enemies, huh? You all realize that they show a preternatural aversion to light. So, like, when there's a strong light source, they tend to shy away from it. And you think if you used an action to shine them with the flashlight, you might stun them. So, yeah. So instead of doing damage, you do an action. If you get a success, you stun them. They lose their action. So, okay, let's roll initiative. Oh my God!
kidding?
We rolled a 4. Jesus, Casey, you like going? You're like, I like going first.
Enemies!
He's starting to sound more and more like Errol Flynn. Aha!
Yeah.
Come forth! And we're like, is he always like this? He's probably always
All right.
like this.
Who's going first?
When we play Dungeons and Dragons. I got
Alright.
a 6.
Who got 12?
Okay.
Okay. Who got 11? 10? 9? 8? 7? 6?
I was hoping for
5?
three.
4? 3? 4. Sorry, not 3, but still. Again, we go last. Casey stole all my mojo. All right. You have 2 actions. What would you like to do, Casey? For the record, who has the flashlight?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna use an action to get near and take a swing.
Beautiful. Swing, bada, bada.
Yep,
Miss.
that's a miss.
Awesome.
I was a 3.
Happens.
1, 2, 3.
All right,
I feel like that's something, but probably not. Only in like Yahtzee,
yeah. Farkle.
Farkle.
All right, who's next?
Me. I will get close.
Bork, bork.
And I will take a slash at them.
Nope. All right. Wow, your dice do not like you guys. So yeah, you go to slash, and they go nope, and they just pick their leg up. You see one bearing down. She's like she has a rolling pin. She's about ready to crack your skull with. Fred, I believe you're next, and then Brian.
I'll go. Do you have any
Great people.
Grey Poupon?
Huh? No.
I will take an action to focus
Beautiful.
and then shoot.
Kamehameha.
Two hits.
So just one success. So yeah, unless you have multiple actions or a trait that allows you to deal, it's just a success deals 1 hit. Cool. So did you target the one with the rolling pin or the one with the cast iron pan?
Yes, sir. That looks
Beautiful. You hit her. You're like, whoa! You ball it up and you throw this beautiful ectoplasmic bolt at her, and it hits her in the chest. And you see like a what would be an explosion of like blood and guts and gore, but it's just ghostly. It's like, and she crumples to the ground and stands right back up.
No, she died. No, never mind. She's alive.
Nope, she's fine.
Alright. I'll take the flashlight and I'll point it at the rolling pin one first.
Okay.
And that doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. So you go to flash the light, and Jules or somebody bumps into your leg, and the light goes wide for that 3 seconds span of time.
Sorry.
That's fine. And then,
I almost got hit in the head.
So it is a light weapon, so you can use both actions if you require it.
I was thinking, focus for next time. But we'll use the flashlight on the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay! So the cast iron one.
Yeah.
So it crumples, stands back up, and you just right in the face. It goes, and it kind of petrifies for a half a second.
it does work.
Beautiful. Their turn?
Yep.
All right. Well, the one with the cast iron pan kind of looks, shakes it off for her turn. The next one's going to bring the fox. Oh, you're right there.
Fair.
And misses. So it goes to step, hit you, and you kind of jump out of the way. All right, top of the order.
I'm gonna take an action to focus,
Okay.
and then swing. Oh yeah.
Nice. All right. You cleave into her, like, deep wound, and she collapses.
Oh.
All right, who's next? Jules, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fred's on deck. And we have a soda if you want some caffeine, Fred.
Yeah, can I get one of my waters? Maybe.
Chill out, dog.
You want to give that to him?
It's like the master
I
calls.
can't reach.
I spew for drinks.
Alright, there's another slash.
I don't know what it is today, but today it's like I slept really good and I can't fucking wake up and it's all
You
over
have
the place.
advantage with that.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Your mastery weapons always. Okay, well, you don't get to roll all the dice again. So that's your second action.
Okay.
All right, and you bit her, or you scratch her, whatever it is you do.
Yeah.
Spider.
All right. So she goes, and she drops.
Yay!
So yeah, so you the two housemaids collapse and drop their implements to the floor. Like the other rooms, there doesn't really seem to be much else here. Working lights, the water runs, it's very low, so like you would have to wait like an hour to get a gallon of water. But like if you want to wash up or do something, you're more than capable of doing that here.
Mhm.
And then if you want to take a rolling pin or a cast iron pan, those are light melee weapons.
They weren't making anything food-wise, right?
Well, you're not sure. I mean, there's certainly they probably were at some point, but it's since disintegrated into nothingness. Like there's probably flour on the table, but you don't know if that was like actual flour or if it's just 100 or 30 years of time just disintegrating whatever that item was.
I want to see if I can find a box of Cheerios.
Why are you gonna be
Cool. There's you don't notice any food storage in this room specifically, but there is a doorway to the south.
I just
again?
decided
I wanna listen.
Sure.
Kind of see if I can hear anything at that doorway.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't hear anything of note.
I wanna smell around and see if I can smell anything
Sure.
weird.
Yeah, you go up to the door to the south and you take a scent. And yeah, you clearly smell what would be considered a larder or a pantry or
Oh.
food storage.
Food storage. Hey, there's a pantry somewhere around here.
Okay, open up the door.
Welcome to the pantry. Food! Well, sort of. You can spend an hour here by consuming some of the food that you find and restore 1 hit point, although I don't think any of you took any damage. You also know that you can carry an allotment of food, so it would be a block of food. However, you have the carry trait while you're doing so, which limits you to 1 action in combat. Holy dog. But effectively allows you to carry a 1 hit point potion with you.
Do you want it, or do you want to throw it? Hey, good news on that. I ignore the carry trait.
You sure do.
I will take a thing of food.
All right.
I'll also take a thing of food.
Sure.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a thing of food
Okay.
downstairs to the wolf.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Hey,
You just throw it in. You're just like you open the door, throw it down, like here.
Take some food.
He's like, thanks. Any Oreos? You found one package of Oreo before Fred did, and you gave it to the one boy. He's like, son of a bitch.
I probably stole.
Fred, take one stress.
Well, I found Chips Ahoy. What are you talking about?
I'm just thinking of Tallahassee with his Twinkies. He's like, when he shoots it. Leave, just go.
He didn't say anything. He was.
Oh, that's right. He goes, yeah.
I'm just like, it's pretty
'Cause
easy
Jesse's
to
character's like, I'm
steal
so
things
sorry.
from Fred. You just go, hey Fred, look over there. And he forgets what he's holding and drops.
Yeah.
That's
That's good.
Where did he go?
It ran away.
All right. So there's a door to the south.
There is a door to the south. And there is a sign above the door that says garage.
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 There's probably a door.
It's probably French.
For the Louvre.
Fragile. That must be French.
Garage. What does dinamite mean? Dinamite. It means you're like dinamite. I need to see that better.
Okay. I would like to listen at the door.
You'd like to hurt me? Holy! What did I
I'd
do?
like to hurt the door.
I would like to kick the door in the nuts and the bolts.
Go on, full munchkin at this point. Full munchkin. Kick in the door.
All right.
I'd like to perceive at the door.
Sure. No, you don't
Once
hear
I
it.
get to add them together, then it's a 5.
No. Sadly, no.
You do when you roll initiative when the door comes to life.
It's a mimic.
It's a lie.
It's a mimic.
Why are you kicking doors? This is for all my ancestors.
Except for my cousin. He was ajar. But it's a door, not a door? Well, he's ajar. Oh. All right.
I have heard a rumor about butter, but I'm not allowed to spread it.
Leave.
Get out.
Get out.
All right. What do you
This
want
is
to do?
supposed to be
Yeah, so
spooky.
you don't. The door's unlocked, and you don't notice anything of unusual note from behind the doorway.
Smell. I want to smell.
What?
What?
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
No, I was like, smell.
You smell motor oil.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going
Imagine.
in.
I'm driving.
Okay. So you open the door, and you do that. You see a, for the intents and purposes of this scenario, that's not a carriage; it's a car.
Okay.
But it could be like a '50s, like Al Capone, soft top or something like that.
Wow.
Perfectly valid. There's a stairwell leading up and from the south, I think. There is a garage door, but just a cursory, because I'm gonna call it the Casey mode, where it's just pokes it, lifts it. It's same thing with the window. You're just like, man, it's like they're not real, but also they are real. And it doesn't cost you your once per session, but you try to phase through it, and it's like a force barrier, just not letting you go through. You're like, I can't even use my ability on this.
Huh.
So
It kind of reminds me of like those video games. That
Yeah.
It's like a door, but it's not really
you're
a door.
like Final Fantasy VII, where you're walking on the bridge. You're like, why can't I move any further? Like, because you're not allowed to. It's an invisible wall. Yeah. So everybody in the garage, if you'd like to make a test, perception. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
I can't even make a 5 if I add them together.
Oh no.
All of us can't.
All right,
succeed on the test. 3 of us.
Cool. So Casey, you seem to see a glint of steel, although you think it's steel, coming from the northern stall underneath some refuge. You find a hubcap. which would be a shield if any of you had the shield bearer trait. Just to give you an idea, you can use it. It is a piece of metal hubcap, so if you can figure out a use for it, great. You can take it with you. If not, whatever. Doesn't mean anything to me. I'll say Jules found it this time because they also got a success. Also hidden in the refuge is another newspaper, and this one has a rumor. Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Okay, everyone is certain that Duchess manipulated her husband into buying the manor. The letter is M.
Ooh.
So far, the
Two
word I
letters?
get is mouse.
What letters are they called?
MSY.
Cool. Yep, there's a stairwell leading up. And any interaction with the vehicle, you can't open the doors, can't roll down the windows, can't break it. It's one of those invisible walls outside the purview of the scenario. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like,
Otherwise, you guys would try to get in the car. 13-year-olds like, oh, that door, fuck it. I know you guys.
There's this part of me that it almost feels like we're in a video game.
Right?
You're not wrong,
Uh,
or you are wrong, but
It feels like a video game.
for the purview of this scenario, yes, you are in a dreamscape, invisible wall,
Video game.
Japanese
RPG.
horror RPG. Yeah.
is
Excuse me.
Jules smelled motor oil. Is there motor oil?
Yeah, there's a couple drips from the car, just because it's old.
Wouldn't do that.
Is there enough to like gather in my?
No, it's old. Yes, but it's old enough that it's turned. It's inert.
Oh. Well,
But
I
yeah,
just,
you can grease your hands up, sure.
I just want to try something
Oh, sure.
because we came here dressed like we are what we dress like. So I want to see if I can modify it. So I'm gonna get some grease and run it through my hair and see if I become a 50s zombie, like a greaser.
Yeah, you do.
Neat.
Yeah, as long as you retain the purview of your character concept, absolutely.
You look astonished.
Yo.
Yeah, and yeah. Casey changes his mind and something on his like he goes from like Middle European to like Gothic van bracelets. It all turns fluted black metal, like on the Death Knight now or something. I don't know. Yeah, you could be a fox girl. It's like, oh, I have hands now. Shit. The whole time.
No, imagine just a fox with human hands.
Yeah, you're effect. Yeah, I'm a kitsune now. You're both a girl and a fox. Yeah, as long as
I like being a little fox.
Fred now has a sheet, but he's still a ghost.
Hey, where's that stuff again?
Well, I pick it up. I just forget about it and drop it.
That's true. Okay, what would you like to do?
Well, there's another door to the north. We can try it.
Yeah.
With the stairs
Oh,
going up
yeah,
to-
that door that says egress or whatever, exit, and then you can see. Oh yeah, actually. So while you're in the garage, you can see out of the door into the courtyard and notice at the front area. If you would like to make a test, visual. Okay, so those of you looking out the window, you see a bright light coming from the just above the porch, the upstairs. Which so the room with the two pillars, the room above that, you see a light coming from it. Although you can't see that room yet because we're not on the map, but you know what I mean.
Well, there's stairs heading up. Maybe we should go up.
Yeah, and then any amount of jiggering with the door, you realize, oh, so. But that's the courtyard that you entered and went to the front door. So you can see the front door. There's a light above it that you don't remember seeing the light.
We see some bodies on the floor, on the ground.
No, you don't see any bodies on the ground.
Aw.
There's not. Your bodies are not on the porch.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Valid. But also, you can't see anything other. Like you don't see moon or moonlight or anything like that. You see swirling clouds and darkness. It seems to be the ending of it is the stone wall.
I feel like I'm in an 80s video game.
Kind of the point of the scenario. That's why I was like, oh yeah, put him in a JRPG horror. So you can go back the way to the.
Ravenloft was the thing at that point. Yeah, very Ravenloft.
Can we check the upstairs? and figure out-
Let's.
Yeah, that's what I was suggesting.
Okay. Upstairs we go.
I don't think we can open up the door to outside, right?
I mean, the stairs can't grab you twice, right?
Well, they haven't grabbed me once.
You want to check them for traps though?
I float up the stairs. I check for traps.
Okay.
Oh, 3 dice.
You're like the booze in Mario.
I got like success.
Okay. Yeah. So just like with the other stairs, there is one like slat that seems to be troublesome.
Those tip there.
You realize, oh, if you take like a piece of board off the refuse, you could put it on top and it would be a little bit higher, but it would stop it from falling through.
Okay, I do that.
Okay. Yeah, you guys get to the top of the stairwell. So
Friday.
we're still on both maps, but if you did now, let me see the orientation of the bottom map real quick. We just want the bottom part. So keep that map over top of the front. Yep, we want just that bottom piece. There you go. Nope, I think there's one more room.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. All right. You guys make your way into the garage hallway. So it's like a little balcony. There's a brown area. When you look down over, you see the car. So it's like a vaulted ceiling, like they would have done lifting up the engine above it and stuff like that. However, as you're looking out over, you can test. You see like what appears to be a scratched in or vinyl painted on sigil on top of the car.
What are we testing for?
You're just testing visual. Yep.
We'll roll the third dice as well.
Yeah. It's not necessary at this point. You've got 3 successes. So I don't think Fred's pulled a rumor yet. So let's Fred pull a rumor. The sigil kind of gives you an idea of something that you maybe heard or read or saw since you've been here.
Let's see if it works. No one in living memory has ever recalled witnessing a child residing in the manor. The letter is L. So M.
MSYL.
Okay.
Y, L. Yep, that works. Or smile. I like smile.
Smile's not bad. Yeah, so you have the whole L there to mess with. That's the garage hallway. There is a small light coming from. There's a window just next to the brown spot, like on the wall. Just above that is like a small sconce that's like a parking light, basically, illuminating the whole hallway and the part of the downstairs. You now realize that's why you're able to see in the downstairs.
Can I look out the window towards like the street or something?
Sure.
And see if I can see anything, or is it?
Yeah,
kinda
so
like-
you look out and you can see just past the courtyard, and then as soon as you hit that wall again, it looks black and smoky and spectral, I guess would be the terminology.
Test to
You don't see stars, you don't see the moon, you don't see clouds, except for the swirling, looks vaguely cloud-ish.
Can I test to see if I hear anything?
Sure.
The car transforms. It's a transformer.
Okay. You absolutely hear sounds coming from the first doorway leading into the big room.
So,
Yep. So right there, you hear sounds coming from within there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a sign above the door that says workshop.
I hear something going around in the next room, so.
Alright.
Yeah, so there's a door to the north, and there's the door to the west that you were listening at. You don't hear any noise coming from the door to the north, to the best of your recollection.
You can go peek at the north door then.
Yeah.
Whatever they're
Okay.
busy.
So you're like, yeah, noise usually meant things. No noise usually didn't mean things. Great.
Yeah.
You open the door, and you find a lounge. This is what you would consider a workman lounge. There's a couch, sofa. They're probably not in any really good condition, but they're not in terrible condition. There's some tools laying about. They're mostly non-aggressive tool, nothing that you could use as a weapon. Like it might be a pop socket, or there might be a small measure of chain. Maybe there's a bandsaw, but it doesn't have a handle or something.
Is there a mini fridge?
There is not a mini fridge. There's a table with some cards on it. There's a sofa. There's a rug that has like a nice little like relaxing pillow that you would lay against and maybe read by the sunlight or moonlight. The curtain over a window. Again, you open the curtain, the window is just there, and it's kind of
I'm gonna go look at the cards.
Nondescript. Yep. Cards look like they're kind of older. They seem to be made out of a really good material. Like it has a good feel. But they do feel like they're very old and a little brittle. So think of like old paper.
I just want to see if they were risky or not. 13-year-old kids,
Roll a trap test. You get a paper cut. Son of a bitch!
Well, that sounds like work.
There's a single razor blade hidden in the deck. I'm kidding. Unless you want there to be, I'm cool with that. You want to add horror elements? I'll let you get hurt. I don't care. But you can absolutely test, everybody. Okay, great. So those of you who succeeded, you guys look around the lounge for a little bit, and kind of near the cards, you thought it was like there's like a table, and then there's a little sofa, and there's a small like little end table next to it. You find like a silver locket, and you open it up, and you see a super faded portrait. You can't really make out the people in it, but you do garner a rumor. So anybody not pull one yet?
I haven't,
All right, there you go.
but I also failed.
It doesn't matter. The rumor's for everybody.
We're like looking at
I'm gonna love it. You're gonna be the first one to get the rumor without the letter. You're gonna be like, this rumor's useless.
we're looking at this locket, and suddenly Casey speaks. We're like, what?
Oh shit! I forgot you were there.
Okay. Several tales of local animals with a myriad of scars, matted fur, and other deformities. There is no letter. You cursed me like that.
Sorry.
You jinxed it.
Well, to be fair, it's a 6 out of 10, and you rolled 4 of them already. It's like, well, odds were not in your favor. Cool. Yeah. So you still have the workshop, and you can head back towards the
Alright.
foyer.
Let's go to the workshop.
Let me see.
Oh, we're doing pretty good on time. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. You open the workshop.
I opened the workshop.
All right. As you guys walk inside, you start to hear a whirring mechanical feature of 2 animated mechanical skeletons as they shamble forth and walk out of the corners. So we'll just use the same minis. They're 2 metal skeletons. We'll roll initiative. Oh my good God.
Only two, you.
Unless you have the trait, you only roll 2 for initiative. There you go. You still go before I do. I rolled a 3.
4.
I rolled a 3. My skeletons are dumb.
They're like, hi guys, we're here.
Okay.
I'm at 12.
Well, I go last again, so you guys can go whatever frickin' order you want to.
I got a 7.
4.
Okay, so you need 7?
7.
4.
Yeah, so Brian, Casey, Fred, Julia, and then me, finally. Man, I cannot roll initiative to save my life.
Like, this is where I found out information I never knew. That there's intense rivalry between zombies and skeletons.
Oh, yeah,
And I'm just like,
Primal hatred.
how dare you exist?
How dare you not have brains?
Trust me, I play Minecraft.
Have you ever seen the movie Warm Bodies?
Yes, with the they fall in love. The
The
boy and the girl.
Bodies, yeah.
But yeah, they're talking about the Skellies.
Yeah. This,
Yeah, they hate the coldies or whatever they're called.
I just chomp them down. Just rip an arm off.
Okay. So you
I
you
succeed.
moved in and then bit them.
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, that one. Let's do 1 and 2. So you hit 1 for 1.
Yep.
Gorgeous. Casey moves up. Swing, bada.
Yep.
Beautiful. Which one are you hitting? The same one that Brian hit?
Yeah,
Or?
I'll hit the same one.
All right, well, that one drops. The very resounding clunk, and you hear the whining. And it is no more. Casey hands the arm off to Brian. Here you go.
I'm gonna go over
We can attach this, right?
focus, and then I'm going
Well.
to. And I hit.
Got a success?
Yes.
Beautiful. So yeah, you ectoplasm, wah, Hadouken! And you take a nice little chunk of its clockwork face off.
That's the fox, dude.
Moves up and slashes. Success.
Nice. Yeah, so you take a bite or a claw or whatever you're doing to it, and you wound it. Doesn't look very good. The mechanism's still functioning, but the clock is winding down. And he gets to go! All right.
That one's still up.
Yep, 1 is still up. Who is near? I can attack anybody. You know what? Yeah, screw it. The fox looks delicious. Alright. Are you kidding me? 2, 2, and 1. I don't even get
Those
the auto.
guys hate you.
Yeah, so he misses.
Alright, so my turn. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take the arm that Casey handed me. I'm gonna beat that one with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's only 2 dice because it's not your mastery. Okay.
Yeah.
And you succeeded?
Yep.
Nice. You bludgeon it to death with its own brother's arm. Same thing happens. The clock starts to wind down.
You know, I approve of that tactic.
Yeah. So it is a light melee weapon, which I believe is your trained, right? You are proficient. So that's 2d6. If it's a weapon you're not proficient in, it's 1d6. And if it's your mastery, which you only ever have 1, it's 3d6. So
Yeah, I'm apparently only trained in heavy weapons.
you are, because you can't have a mastery in a weapon you are not trained in.
Yeah.
And now you were born with a halberd in your arm, Casey, or a great axe or a great sword. But your halberd is what you are mastered in.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. All right. So everybody would like to test. So
You gotta be kidding me.
Come on.
success.
fives.
Beautiful.
Double ones.
All right. You find a small series, like a toolbox of really ornate tools, and you realize that if you were to spend an hour, this is where I got confused. If you were to spend an hour with these tools, you could repair armor.
Oh.
So instead of, yeah. So if you take these tools and you spend an hour, you can repair your armor 1.
Ooh, nice.
You want to take the tools? I don't want to take the tools.
I'll take the tools.
So I'll forget about it and drop them.
I already have a screwdriver.
The bag just drops on them. After the 3rd time, you're like, just take them. Gorgeous.
So I get to see me walking around and forget that I'm holding my one food, and all of a sudden it drops on the floor and go pink. Pick it up again.
I'm just imagining Fred's special item as a fidget toy.
Oh!
Be like, I have focus.
That's some bullshit. Some of you are carrying, you only get 1 action if you're carrying. Casey's the only one that ignores it. So that's our last warning. You guys screwed me over 1 too many times.
I ate my food.
I don't think you took damage, did you?
No.
Oh yeah. I mean, you kind of eat it. You just don't get any benefit.
I'll also eat my food.
Okay. Presume you guys are heading back towards the kitchen.
Yeah.
The pantry? Yeah.
But I've grabbed some more food.
I'm saying.
Sure.
I ate it. That one.
Cool. No, there's only 4. It was 1 for each of you.
I didn't take any, so he can.
Oh, okay. So you can take yours. Val.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah,
I
you
took-
did. You gave
Yeah, I think
Mine.
you. I remember you 3 for sure. I
That's
didn't
right.
remember
Yeah, you
Kate,
gave yours
Fred
to
saying it. But
Yeah, so my portion is
all right.
Um,
Okay, guys, make your way back to the kitchen
Yeah.
or the dining room. I mean, where the table is.
Yeah.
Do we want to check that door? Listen at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to try something.
Okay,
Sure.
try something.
It's set for a family of 4, right?
Yep.
It is.
All right. What if we're the family of 4?
We can try it.
Like
Valid.
mom, dad, children.
works for me.
We're playing
Okay.
house.
Wonderful. All right,
Well,
so
I
you
guess
guys all
we'll-
sit down at the table.
13-year-olds
Sit down
playing
at the table.
house. I love
All right.
that.
A spectral, almost hauntingly delicious-looking food manifests on each of the plates. You're still unable to pick up the silverware. However, if you put your hand over a silverware and you pick it up, a ghostly fork or a ghostly knife or a ghostly spoon appears in your hand now.
This is so cool.
It's like eating a
It
hologram.
is.
Basically, for you, it's like you're good.
All of us have
You don't even have to focus. You can touch these items.
Awesome. Real food.
Yeah. So had you taken any damage, you guys would have healed 1 hit point.
Oh, nice.
There's this part of me that's like, when did Hook come out?
94, 5, 6, something like that.
92. I think I was
It
in
might
high
be.
school.
Again, yeah, I guess we're all 13-year-old kids in this time frame.
You're doing it, Peter. Peter. That's where it's from, Peter, because he's starting to imagine. And then he's like, Rufio. You're doing it, Peter. That little kid's my favorite thing of the whole movie. Him and the fat kid that does the cannonball. Cannonball! And then you just see a fat kid rolling down the gangplank. You're like, oh my god.
See, I saw that and I was like,
So how do we
Nearly
get
as
rid of
tough.
stress?
You rest.
Sleep, yeah.
Yeah, take an hour and relax. 1 stress per hour, like hit points, and then it's all your stress for a full 6-hour, full night rest.
Hook came out in 91.
Nice.
well, that was fun.
But still, I am just feeling like I have to pretend like it's when I was 13. And it's like, no, get
Yeah.
that out of your head. The character is 13.
I mean, it's all valid. There's no wrong way to approach the scenario. You were 13 as a young person in modern society, but maybe your brain has shifted. Now you're 13 in the 70s. It's all good.
Yeah, your brain has shit.
I mean, the Wolf Boy's been down there for 112 years. No,
I'm
I don't know how long
13
he's been
either
down
way,
there.
so-
A long time. And he wasn't a wolf when he came in the house.
I'm 13 either way, so.
Yeah. Well, I made everybody 13 for you.
Yeah.
Because it would be weird. Like, why are we going trick-or-treating with a 40-year-old man? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Check that door. Listen, perceive. No.
Okay.
Anyone else, or are we just
Open
going
it up.
through the door?
Yep, no.
Okay, fine. Open the door.
All right. Yeah, you guys enter a foyer. It's a large open room with a vaulted ceiling and a balcony. You look up, because you're familiar with the balcony from the garage, you can all make a test at advantage. As you look up and you see railings. Okay. None of you are really like contractors or construction workers or anything like that, but you do realize, like we can't just throw a rope up and climb up because that ballast is going to immediately just collapse. So you can't bypass you can't just crawl up there.
Not that we have rope or grappling hook. Or
You just didn't find it.
I mean, we might be able to stretch you out.
Like in Casper.
Let me see. I jump up to try to fly. And
Fall on your butt.
no, it doesn't work. I'm not Superman.
I need
No,
an upward force.
You do that.
Flap your arms, Fred. Flap your arms.
you throw them up.
I'm doing the chicken.
It only works when you make the noise, though. Got to do it on a live camera. So front door, you're familiar. You look out, you see the front porch. Same thing happens. You realize, oh, can't open the door, can't affect it, can't do anything crazy. However, if you would like to make another test, visual, you see a heavy curtain hanging. Julia, you make all tests at advantage when it comes to perception. You're fine because you succeeded, but all right, it does take two of you. So
Write that down.
this it's literally there. That's what your trait says.
Where? Here?
Perceptive.
Okay.
That's what perceptive means. When I say test for perception, you're doing it at advantage. Unless I say you have disadvantage, then it's normal. She's like, I'm going to write this down. It's already on your sheet. Casey's like, I'm going to put Armor Master on there twice. I know. Anyways.
Leave me alone.
So at least two of you got a success. This is the only scaled success that I have on the scenario. Two of you had to succeed or you failed. Two of you did succeed. Three of you technically. So two of you pull a heavy curtain aside and you see a portrait. There's a painting. And it is a beautiful, regal-looking woman and a, like, baron, like he has the vampire ascot, the whole nine. He's not a vampire, but he looks like he could be, like a baron of some kind, of some note, maybe with, like, French epaulets or something. And there is the image of a small boy in the painting, but his face is smeared and marked and clawed.
It's a little boy.
One of you like to pull a rumor?
I'm not too, so my one.
There was tale of a barren woman who considered using the manor as an orphanage. There's no letter.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. So you have a doorway to the west,
Yeah.
and then the doorway to the south, but you know that is not applicable. Fred, however, is convinced he sees all four of your bodies on the front porch, even though nobody. No.
Yeah.
Trying to engage you, so you stay awake, Fred.
I don't know what it is today. I'm just.
It's every Sunday, man.
No, it's
Wait.
usually me.
I was saying one time we actually had Casey falling asleep on camera.
Yeah. I don't know why either.
Well,
Okay.
It was just one of the days that I think I got too much sleep last night.
I didn't get enough. It was rain. Because
All right, what are you guys doing?
Moving into the next room.
Okay, so you don't check, you just open. Perfect.
Rain likes to wake me up at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
I wake up at 4.
Okay.
I wake up at
So
7.
you enter a drawing room. This has a large table. You're pretty sure they probably hosted large dinners here, and probably family dinners specifically. There are no settings at the table. There's a beautifully vibrant centerpiece on the table. But if you look at it too long, it's like this gorgeous metal twisted like iron thing. However, looking at it for longer than a couple seconds, or mostly looking at it like with the corner of your eye, it becomes almost skeletal, like hands holding an orb or something, or a skull or something. And then you look at it and it looks normal. It's gorgeous, like a beautiful centerpiece. And then you turn your face and you see the corner, and it's again that terrifying looking, like skeletal feature. You see a stairwell leading up that you're almost guaranteed. You can almost guarantee that it goes up to the next floor. However, Fred can make a test at disadvantage. It's for a trap, so he's at standard. He's the only one with the trait, so he's the only one that can make this test. And then everybody else can make a visual perception check.
Succeeded.
Beautiful. You are convinced that the stairwell is trapped. Beautiful. So there's a small placard next to the ornate thing on the center of the table. You get to pull a rumor.
Yeah.
And now you see the skull, like the thing that's literally floating in the crystal orb. Now it's glass and you can see liquid. There is a child's skull rotating slowly inside the orb. You're the only one who can see that. Everybody else still sees when they stare at it the focus, the beautiful ornate centerpiece.
Well, then I scurry away.
You notice the skull follows you.
Ah. Like the skull. Countless stories detail unusual noises coming from the manor at certain times. We get to you.
Not a word.
See? You have a doorway to the north and a doorway to the south, and the stairwell leading up.
Stairways are trapped.
Yep.
Well, let's go that way. Let's check that door.
Which one?
That way.
North.
The north?
North.
To
That
the
way.
to the long room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to test perception before we go in?
Excuse me.
Success.
Okay. You smell a familiar scents coming from that room. You don't hear anything, but you get the sense of canine coming from the room.
Okay.
Give me just a standard test. Unfortunate. Okay. Other than that, you don't hear any sounds or anything like that coming.
All right. Guess we're going in.
All right, you open up it's like an enclosed porch. There's a stair leading outside, the screen door. Same thing, screen door doesn't open. But it's like a glass green room almost. It's like a sunroom with a slanted ceiling. However, there are 3 dogs running towards you, and they look ravenous. If you would all like to make a mental test at disadvantage, you've already made the test. I gave you advantage. So.
Oh. Good to know.
Actually, you know what? You can make it again at disadvantage, so just the one. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. So for those of you carrying food, you know that food would alleviate the dogs.
Okay.
I don't remember if I ate my food or not.
I have not eaten my food, so I'll throw my food at him.
Okay. You throw your food on the ground. So for the carry trait, 3 boxes would be filled with food.
Okay.
So it's the same amount of space that a heavy melee weapon takes up in your box. So 1 is for like potions or small items, 2 for like medium items, 3 is for large. And then that you have a box like I think it's 5, 6 windows. Yeah. So like your halberd would take up, your armor would take up 2. Your if you had a shield, to take up 1, maybe 2. I haven't really figured that out, but just to give you an idea of itemizing you have like Diablo 2 itemized stuff.
That makes sense.
So you like you throw all 3 pieces of food. There's 3 dogs. Works out perfect. They each eat whatever grain or meat or cheese or milk or whatever you happen to find in the larder. And you bypass the scenario or the scenario. You're done. Bye. You bypass the combat because the dogs are alleviated.
Dogs are sated.
Yep.
Oh,
Good
You're
puppies.
right,
Good puppies.
And if you, because you've successfully moved the curtain, you do notice that there is light coming from a panel, like a wall, and it's just the painting was on a very thin wall. And from this perspective, you actually see a 4th image, another child, a young woman child in the photo that is not reflected on the front side, but is shown on the back side, like a silhouette. One would say almost ghostly, like a watermark. So that's it for this. We will. I presume you either going to go upstairs or you're going to go to the last room, and we'll take a break now.
All right.
The 15-minute, 10-minute break. What do you think is?
10.